Hello, English 1 students. Picking up where we left off, we had just read a very short part of Sailing from Troy, and I just wanted, before we go any further, somebody drew on that. I wanted to just elaborate a little more. Um, in this particular chapter, Odysseus, remember, Odysseus has already been gone 20 years, okay, and he's lost everything. He's lost his ship, he's lost his crew, he's like washed ashore in this island, and King Alcinous um, takes Odysseus in and offers him a ship to get back to Ithaca, but in exchange, he wants to hear of Odysseus's adventures. He wants to hear what had happened to Odysseus. Okay, remember, it was a long, long time ago. They didn't have internet and Wi-Fi, so they were pretty bored, and any kind of a story they could get, they would take. So Odysseus agrees and starts to tell his story. And in this part right here, he just kind of provides right here where he says, "My home is uh, on the peak sea mark of Ithaca, under Mount Neon's windblown robe of leaves." He's just describing Ithaca, his kingdom, to Alcinous. And down here is important. He says, "I shall not see on earth a place more dear, though I have been detained long by Calypso." Okay, loveliest among goddesses. And Calypso is a goddess who loved Odysseus, and we will read that chapter and learn more about her later. But this is important because this part right here, "I shall not see on earth a place more dear." And also, if you go a little further, he says, "Where shall a man find sweetness to surpass his own home and his parents? In far lands he shall not, though he find the house of gold." So here Odysseus is just really emphasizing how important, how special Ithaca is to him. Okay, he really, it's just like a Wizard of Oz, if you've ever seen it. Dorothy says, "There's no place like home." That's another archetypal journey story, the Wizard of Oz. And if you recall in our previous lessons, we talked about archetypal stories. This is a journey story. In most journey stories, there is a destination or some object that the hero wants or needs. And in this case, for Odysseus, his destination is his home, where his family is. Um, what then? What am I selling then from Troy? So now he's like, okay, so what happened after the Trojan War? What are those years of rough adventure weathered under Zeus? He describes how the wind had just carried him and his crew to this the coast of Cicones. Okay, and this is where it's kind of an odd a way to introduce our heroes, if you will, but they end up at this like island, and there's a small village there. They're not a threat at all, but Odysseus and his men, they stormed the place and killed the men who fought. Okay, plunder we took, and we enslaved the women. So they attack this village. Our heroes do. Okay, and remember, Odysseus is, he's supposed to be the leader here, so he's not. None of them are acting well here. Now, admittedly, they're probably low on supplies, but you would think they would come in and maybe trade or offer for, ask for help, but instead they attack this place. And they go, "On plunder we took, and we enslaved the women to make division equal shares to all. But on that spot I told them, back and quickly, out to sea again. My men were mutinous." Mutinous meaning rebellious. So Odysseus, when he and his men attack, Odysseus kind of, I guess you could say, he realizes things have gotten out of control, so he orders his men back to the ship, but they refuse to go back. He's lost control of them. He's not really being a good leader here. Fools on stores of wine. Fools on stores of wine. His men are fools on stores of wine. What can you infer about that? They're drunk, it seems like. Sheep after sheep they butchered by the surf, and shambling cattle, feasting. Okay, so they're just like killing the cattle, killing the sheep. But then fugitives went inland, running back to call arms to the main forces of Cicones. So this army, some fugitives, some people from the village run off and get help from the nearby army, the Cicones army. And the Cicones army are trained to fight on horseback. So Odysseus and his men fight the Cicones, but they do not win. Odysseus loses many men, and they are driven away. Not a very good start for our hero, I would say.